Today's podcast is one that I really like. I met Jeff Jester in Lake Darbone at a high school bass tournament. And the guy that introduced us like, man, you got to talk with Jeff. And he introduced me to Opelousas bank poles. If you like to catch big catfish, you need to watch this podcast. These poles are so cool, so much fun. They're reminiscent to the old bank lines, the old limb lines that we used to use. Remember, you had to catch a limb tied up, and then when you pull up that limb, that old limb be jerking. Well, what happens if you don't have a limb? Well, you got an Opelousas bank pole in your boat, you're ready to fish. Jeff Jester's got us a good one right here. Let's mention some sponsors real quick. Marion State Bank right off the jump. You ain't going to beat Marion State Bank as far as a local bank in Northeast Louisiana. Let's see, number 2, the town of Farmerville and the Union Parish Tourism Commission. Thank you guys so much for what you do locally for the town of Farmerville and Union Parish. The town of Farmerville has a Facebook page. You can go check that out. They have a .com page. Go check that out as well. Discover Monroe, West Monroe. You need to look at these people because if you're coming to Monroe or West Monroe for any event, you want to know what's going on in and around the community, Discover Monroe, West Monroe is a great place to find that. They have a .com page. They have a Facebook page, social media. They kill it on that. Go check them out. And then lastly, Janet Fortenberry State Farm. I want to thank Janet Fortenberry for coming in and getting with us for her sponsorship. She loves the podcast, loves what we do, loves to support everything local. So for all your insurance needs, go check out Janet Fortenberry. Right now, we're going to go check out Jeff Jester and these Opelousas bank poles.
Good God. Woo. This is a good one. This is probably going to be our personal best right here, too. Come on, baby. Come on.
Dip net?
Give me a mouth. Give me a mouth. Oh, yeah. Oh. Son, look at that son of a gun right there. Woo. What I'm talking about right there. You ain't got you some of these bank poles, you need to get them. And that right there is what it's all about, boys. Old stud daddy.
Well, folks, it's that time of the year. Some folks are still out there bass fishing, crappie fishing, brim fishing's taking in. But I tell you what, the way I was raised up, this time of the year, you running trot lines and hoop nets and whatnot like that, trying to catch them big Opelousas. And I got a fella right here, y'all, that has got a product that is show enough. This is Jeff Jester. And I'm just going to turn it over to you, baby. Just tell us who you are and where you're from.
All right, man. I'm Jeff Jester. I'm originally from Warren, Arkansas, and been here pretty much all my life. I did come down to Louisiana and stayed down there about 3 years. We got a camp and all down there in the Rouge area. Fished quite a bit on the Washita down around Sterlington area.
Yeah.
And we was raised up, man, trot lining, limb lining, yo-yos, the whole 9 yards, and got into these bank poles, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 years ago. It's been a while. We started out with just old PVC and found us some fiberglass rods, and some friends of ours got into the fiberglass, and we started playing with it a little bit and just working out the bugs and the kinks. But trot lining, it takes so much bait. You got so many more hooks. It's a lot of work when you're by yourself. Sometimes trot lining is good if you got another person to help you. But with this, I can run. Oh, sorry, earpods fell out. This I can do everything really from the back of the boat by myself. I don't have to have nobody with me.
Right.
And the way we've got them set up now, these 2-piece rigs, we made them a lot shorter so they're not as bulky. And you can put one section in, then you screw the top section in, and I'll show you all that and how that works. But sometimes you pull up to a bend in a river, and it's the perfect spot, it's the perfect depth of water, but there's no limb to tie your limb on. So that's where these bank poles come in. You can drive that bank pole in those big bluff banks, those straight off bluff banks where those big ops like to feed, And when I tell you they work, buddy. I mean, they work. You fish in the right depth, your bait's not going to get tangled up. You're not hung under logs. Um, and the kids love it too. My boys, they're fond of it. But the main thing is not getting your fish. You set a trot line, you can't see what's under that water. Of course, you can take your depth finder, you can look, see if there's some structure down there. But if it gets hung up, you're
That's
not going
it.
to catch nothing.
Yeah. That's it.
So we're focusing on one hook, fishing one spot, but we're catching more fish off of one hook. Because trot line, most of the time, you catch the first two hooks off the bank's your best two hooks. And then you got all this, in the middle, you might not catch anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I can take 12 bank poles and catch just as many or more fish than I was catching with 50, 60 hooks in the water with 3 trot lines.
Oh, heck.
Catching more fish on 12 hooks.
Man, I'm telling you, I watched your TikTok. When I met you at Lake Darbone in January,
Right.
I think that night I got home, I started looking at your TikToks. Good night, man. I mean, you're catching some really, really big fish, really big catfish. And the first thing went through my mind is what kind of rig do you have on there? What is it rigged with?
Well, we use it's a number 30 size nylon,
Mm-hmm.
and then we got a 4-ounce egg sinker, and we mold and build all our sinkers and swivels and everything. And we was using some different hooks. I'm not going to say the name of the hooks we were using on our poles, but we were using hooks that we were buying, and we was missing hooks.
Mm-hmm.
So we designed our own hook. And this hook is I don't know if you can see it good there now, but it's got a 20-degree
Twist to it.
offset and twist
Mm-hmm.
in it. This is a 10-aught, and it's all stainless. My 2 fingers will sit in that trough, and I still got plenty of point left. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm using bigger bait.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't miss hardly at all with these hooks right here. I mean, if fish bites it, you got it. This hook has got enough depth and width in it that you can use bigger bait and still have plenty of point out here. You clean your scale off. If you're using brim, or some people like to use bullhead or mudcat, but just keep your point clean. And like I said, look at the room that you got. Did that set?
Yeah, there you go. Pull it to the right just a little bit. There you go. Look at that. Good night, 11. That's a big throat, man. That's a big throat in that thing.
Yeah. And the only place you can get these is off of our website. And we designed this hook, had it built, and our catches has increased tremendously since we've done that. And we haven't had any hooks straightened out. I mean, before we was having hooks straightened out, and I don't know if it was snapping turtle, I don't know if it was big catfish, something was straightening the hooks out.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, man. I mean, since we hardly ever. I don't even think we own a trot line anymore since we started it.
Yeah.
And it's really taken off around here in my area. I mean, we got a lot of guys around here that are using them, and they're constantly sending me footage and pictures of fish. And our website has got several of those pictures on it, but they flood us all the time with pictures of big giant catfish they're catching, and they're always bragging about how their catch rates have went up so much since they started using.
Yeah. How long's the line you got on there? Do y'all put the line on there? Or does the customer, when they get it, put the line on there?
No, it comes completely rigged, ready to fish with our hooks, our sinkers. It's set up exactly the same way that we use them.
Okay.
It's got about 8 to 9 foot of line, and it's going to vary. They're not every one of them has the same, because of your leader might be 2 or 3 inches longer than the next leader, but roughly between 8 and 9 foot of line, somewhere in there, is what's on the pole.
Okay.
And you don't have to use all that. So if you fishing a hole that's 5 foot deep, you just wind your line up on into your pole until that hook. You want your bait to be right off the bottom. You don't want it on the bottom, because if that brim gets buried under leaves and stuff and hides, you're not going to catch anything.
Yeah.
So you want to fish him up above the bottom to where all he can do is just swim in a circle and thrash around because you're fishing with live bait. So that's going to attract more fish, and that's the problem with trot lines. You don't know, you physically don't know if every drop is on the bottom or if it's fishing 6 foot off the bottom. You don't know where that drop is.
Mm-hmm.
But with this and these poles, you set each one to where you know it's not going to get hung up, and you know it's going to be visible for every fish that swims down that bank.
Okay, that's right. I like that setup, cuz. So explain
Yep.
to me, let's say we motoring, we going down the bayou, right? Going down the river. And
Yeah.
we see a setup that we want to set up on. And we're going to talk about the ideal setup in just a minute. But from time, now, also what I like, folks, this man's very organized. He's got these things set up in a nice little case. You just, hey, it's right there beside your boat. You just open it up and start pulling out your poles. From that point, tell me how you set this rig up.
From that point, we take them out of the bag. First thing you do is you have a bottom section. This will be your bottom section. Got a sharpened point on the end of it. You see where it's been in the mud.
Mm-hmm.
This section here, this is a 10 foot, so it's going to be a 5 foot section. You pull that section out, you pull up to your bank, wherever you want to be, stick that in the bank at about 30-degree angle.
Okay.
Take your hammer. This is stainless bushing right here. This is all stainless. You take your hammer. We use rubber mallets, but you can use a metal hammer. It doesn't matter. And you just
Right.
drive that in the bank. Whatever distance you want. I like myself 18 inches in
Okay.
that bank, because if I catch a big fish and he's there all night long wallering on it, I don't want no chance of him pulling it out. Which, if you put it at a 30-degree angle, the fish he can only pull down. He can't pull out this way. He can only pull straight down.
All right.
And so if it's in a good bank, there's no way it's coming out because it wedges itself in the bank.
Okay.
And that's 5/8 solid fiberglass rod. You can see that.
Yeah.
And it's strong. I mean, I wouldn't be scared to say there's not a fish in fresh water that breaks that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about alligator gar too, because we catch alligator gar on these too. Then once you got that section in, your top section, you got your hook, your sinker, and all on it, your line. It's got what we use is casting rings or castrating rings is what they are, or O-rings.
Mm-hmm.
You roll that off your hook, stretch your line out. You take it in your hand and pull it, and it'll unwind. I'm not going to unwind it, but
Yeah.
it'll unwind. Screw it into your top section. Screw it all the way down flush, and then you're fishing.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
you put your bait on, and from the time I pull up to the time I leave, you're looking at maybe 3 minutes, 2.5
Oh,
to
heck.
3 minutes, and I'm gone to the next one.
Yeah.
Just that quick.
Man, that's awesome, dude. I like that setup because, like you said, you don't have to look for a limb. You don't if there's nothing there. Hey, so what? You got your pole and you're ready to rock and roll.
That's right. That's right.
Man, now listen, what is the ideal setup? Okay, so you're looking for something where it drops off. Well, if it drops off, how deep does it need to be? That kind of stuff. What we're looking at.
I like to I fish bends of the river. 90% of the time I fish bends of the river, and I look for eddies. Most time, if there's in the bend, if there's a point that comes out, and you want to set up in that current break, in the current stream, right on the edge of it. So, more especially if you see current running back upstream in an area, that means it's an eddy there.
Mm-hmm.
That's your bait fish attractant, so that's where your big fish are coming. Straight down banks, and I'll take this pole sometimes and I'll feel around with it and find that drop off, and I'll just go out, until I find it. When it falls off, say 6 to 20 foot, it doesn't matter. That's where I want my bait hanging. It's right on that inner bank,
Okay.
against that bank.
Okay.
But the current seam is the perfect place, right on the edge of the current. And I would say you need 4 to 5 foot of water minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go any shallower than that. And and the reason why is because you got a chance catching river otters and things like it. Which you can catch river otter anyway, but they will if you go setting too shallow. The coons, river otters, stuff like that is gonna find your bait and get it.
Oh heck, how about that? I would have never thought about a coon or otter or anything like that getting a hold to it.
They'll do it. I've pulled up before and caught them trying to catch my bait.
Oh heck, really?
And I'll tell you something else. If you go too shallow, those blue heron cranes,
Mm-hmm.
they'll get you too.
Okay. Okay.
I pulled up and had one, and I had to release it. But I mean, we did release it, and it was unharmed. But I learned real quick: don't fish too shallow. Keep your bait at least 4 or 5 foot down, and
Mm-hmm.
that prevents all that from happening.
Yeah.
Most of the
Yeah.
time. He's heavy, whatever it is. Oh my goodness. We got a big old fishy right here. Oh my God. Don't come on, big boy, don't come on. Look at that thing. Big and big, look at that big old fish. Look at that big old fish. Look at that big old fish. Easy. Easy. Come on now. Look at this. I ain't got my net. He's hooked good though. Oh.
Yeah.
But
Now how long you been doing this? We may have already covered and I missed it, but how long you been doing this, making these?
making them, we've been doing it. This is the second year
Uh-huh.
now to sell, but making our own doing it. I was trying to think back when I started this fishing with these things with the old PVC pipes, probably 12, 15 years ago.
Okay.
It's been a long time ago, and of course my uncles, my grandpa, they was all, man, you just wasting your time. You need to get you some trot lines and
Yep.
go back
Yep.
out there. And they was fishing against me. And I started catching way more and better quality fish than they did. For 20 years or more, we trot line down there. The biggest fish we had ever caught was 31 pounds. My uncle caught it on trot line. It was a 31-pound pop. And when I tell you we fished hard, we fished hard. We caught a lot of fish in that 10 to 12, 15-pound range. But, the little river we fished in is the Saline River up here in Arkansas, Warren. And it runs into the Washita. Now down at the Washita, you catch a little better quality fish, but up this way, 20 pound, 25 pound, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Now 31 was as big as we'd ever caught. Since we started using these, I've seen a 54, several in the 40s, and I can't even count the 30 pounders that we've caught now.
Oh heck, man, that is awesome.
It's just unreal the difference in keeping your hooks where they're fishing all night and not, and you're fishing in places where fish want to be. If you're not fishing where they're feeding at, it's just like hunting where there's no deer. You go for a sit in a city park, you're not as likely to see a deer as you are if you go down here and sit in the bottoms. It's just the same way with fishing. You got to be where they are. You got to be where they're feeding, or you're not gonna catch nothing.
Man, that's a big difference in fish, in weight of fish. I'd never figured it'd have been that big of a difference. But I can hear my folks, my old man, my granddaddy, I can tell you right now, they would be saying the same stuff. If Foot Six was still around, he'd be like, man, you wasting your time. Go put you out a stump hook or go put you out a trot line or hoop net or something other like that.
Yeah.
And But I like when you told me and you showed me some of your videos, man, that I was sold right then. I was like, oh yeah, we really got to learn more about this stuff.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool.
It's really intriguing. I mean, it's different, but it's fun. And I tell you, everybody that came and bought poles from us, they came back this year and they wanted to try the new style. You know, we was building the solid 8-foot sticks, and now we've got the 10-foot or 8-foot,
Mm-hmm.
called the big op and the little op. We also sell swivels, hooks, a line. We'll sell you whatever you need, and we'll also stand behind our product. You know, if something happens to one of them, it comes, you know, for some reason, if a bushing comes off or whatever, you contact me and I will make sure we replace it. If I have to drive it to you myself, we'll ship it to you. You ship us the old one back. We'll ship it to you. Whatever we got to do to make it right. I mean, we'll stand behind our product. And these are made right here in our yard. This is not some big fab company that, you know, no big corporation. This is me and my oldest son, Dusty, doing this in his shop behind his house. And we're not trying to get rich. We're just trying to share what we know with people and just trying to make it work. If we can just sell enough of them to keep the little business going, we're not out here trying to, you know, go big and go put it in Bass Pro or, you know, some big market or on Amazon. This is something we're just doing out of our yard, you know.
So where can we find it at?
You can go to www.opelousabankpoles.com and the website's on there. I'll drop you a link and you can just put it in the comment section.
Yeah, I'll put it
It's
in there.
www.opelousabankpoles, and it's spelled with an O instead of an A. Opelousas, just like the town of Opelousas, Louisiana.
Okay. I would make I would make an Opelousas, Louisiana joke right now, but I'm not because I've got friends in Opelousas.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, let me ask you this. It's just me. Do you think you would ever be to the size where you could put it in a store?
Who knows? You know,
Yeah.
if the Lord's willing, you know, I ain't saying we wouldn't do it, but it's scary to think about it on that level.
Well, I
And
know it
because
is.
we're not set up, you know, I'm thinking about what I have to do to grow to that level.
Yeah.
But I'm not beyond it. I'll say that. If it's a big enough demand for it and it went that big, sure. Yeah, we would try to mass produce it and go with it, you know.
Yeah.
I just have to quit my job. But I mean, we both work day jobs. This is just a side project, you know. It's not we're not living off of this.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I've seen your TikTok, cuz you better get ready, because if this right here goes as big as what them TikToks have, shoo, you got something. Y'all got something. You got something.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it does. You know, I really do. I'm optimistic. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what's the average size fish, man? If you had to put it in a ballpark, you know, what would the average size from biggest to smallest? What would somewhere fall in between be? You think?
We stay on about a 20-pound average. If I had to guess, between 18 and 20-pound average. I mean, we catch a lot of them that size. I mean, we catch. Last year, I put one in the boat that was 33 pounds, and then Dusty caught one 36, and then caught another one 38. And you know, we release most all our big fish. We release them because that's your breeder fish.
Yeah.
We take pictures of them, videos. We do a lot of video and take pictures of them and turn them loose. So we do keep them, you know, a good amount of them flatheads deep because there ain't nothing any better than them old wop bellies to me.
Oh man, there ain't nothing better. My daddy's got some in the freezer right now. We finna fry up.
We eat crappie too, or y'all call them white perch down there in Louisiana. My wife's from Louisiana, and I get corrected on that a lot. You know, it's white perch down there. You know, but I understand. But up here it's crappie, and needless to say, they taste the same, crappie and white perch to me.
Hey, and you know, you go farther south, they call them sockeye, and they taste the same as both of them.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
and they taste the same too.
Yeah.
But yeah, there ain't nothing like them old flathead bellies and belly meat. We'll keep if somebody's wanting some fish, we'll keep a few old blues. We catch some big blues. I caught a pretty nice blue last year down on the Washita River. and around 20 pounds high fin, and them high fins eat good.
Yeah, yeah.
But
We gotta
I'm
we gotta.
excited about this year. You know, the water's been so messed up, and it's just now getting better. Our river just it's finally come down to the level to where it needs to be. But that's another thing. And let me mention this, Greg. When the water's dropping real hard, I ain't saying stay at home, but you're not going to catch near what you're going to catch unless if your water level is if it's stationary or slow rise, you need to get these poles in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's whenever we seem to do the best. It's a stationary or slow rise,
Okay.
and we wear them. But on a hard fall, we don't seem to catch near as many. Might get 2 or 3 out of 12 poles, but on a slow rise, we have caught as many as. Actually, the best I ever done, I had 10 poles set out. I caught 11 fish. I'll tell you how I done it. I had a fish on every pole, and when I came back through after I run them, the first one that I checked, a fish bit a naked hook because I took all the bait off and was going to put fresh bait on the next evening. And when I came back through, that pole was still jumping. I said, I know we took that fish off that pole. Pulled over to the bank, and there was another one on there that bit a naked hook.
My stars.
Sure
That's
did.
good look. That's some good luck right there, baby.
That's the best I ever did.
Man.
We've had some really good nights. Like last year, we caught the river just right. Me and my son. We had 24 poles out. I think we caught 18, and most all of them were flathead. I sent some pictures to you. The front of the boat just covered in flathead, and we had 4 over 20 pounds that night.
Man, that's big. What? So you're baiting them in the evening, then run them the next day. You let them sit overnight.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Okay.
Baiting them right at dark so them old gar don't knock your bait off.
Yeah.
Them old gar clean your hooks is real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, what's now you? How big is the biggest gar you ever caught on there? Because you know them old garfish can pull. Cause
Yeah, they can. We caught one last year in the Sling River. It was 27 pounds, I think, alligator gar. And I got a friend that I just took some of these posts. I took him 6, and he lives in Venice, Louisiana,
uh-huh.
and he's on the Mississippi River. He wants to see if he can catch 180 to 200 pound alligator gar on one of these poles. We're testing it right now. So ask me that question in about a month, and I'll be able to tell you a lot more about whitetail holes.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. That'd be good stuff, man. I'm interested to hear it. So, all right, dude. Well, look,
Also,
go ahead.
this week we're running a special. This week, my son decided that since it's Memorial Day weekend coming up, with any purchase of poles, you'll get a free bag from now to Memorial Day weekend.
Not
So
bad.
usually the bags are like $15 a bag for the zip up case, and if you buy 20 poles or more, then you get a free bag. Well, this week, with any purchase of poles, we're giving away a bag. So if you buy 2 poles, you get a free bag.
Shoot, yeah. Can't beat that, baby. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff.
Yeah.
Well, look, baby, that's all I need. I'm gonna try to throw in some video of you guys. Oh, I tell you what, tell the story about your wife helping you with that big, the one you got the most views on TikTok with. Tell that story real quick.
Yeah, we was running poles one morning. We was having a good morning that morning. The water was rising, and she got Bell's palsy. Ever since COVID happened, something with COVID started this, but she has Bell's palsy sometimes, and it causes her arms to go like almost paralyzed, her face droops and stuff. So she was useless with her right arm. And I pull up and I got this. We got to go. I mean, he's a big. And I told her, I said, baby, I said, I may have to have some help here. And she's trying to film and hand me the dip net. And this fish is thrashing around. And finally, we got the fish in, but we ended up having to cut. Oh, I lost power.
No, I got you.
Can you
I
hear?
still got. Yeah, I still got
Okay.
you.
This one here went dead. But she finally got me the dip net. And we got the fish landed. He was 42 pounds, and that was the biggest one we had caught. That's been our so far one that I've caught with me and her. That's been the biggest one.
Man.
And but we got him landed, and that video there, we put it on TikTok, and for some reason, I don't know why, because it's not uh, the best footage ever, but that video right there got 15.7 million views on TikTok.
Golly. That's a lot of
Sure
views,
did.
man.
Sure
That's a
did.
lot of views. Oh, man.
But yeah, this we look forward. This is something we look forward to every year. I'm excited about this weekend. I can't wait because the water level's right. This coming up weekend, I'm gonna be on that water. I'm gonna be looking at TikTok because there'll be some new videos uploaded this week. I promise you, because that water's done got to where we're gonna try to put this year. We're gonna try to put a 60, 70 pounder in the boat.
I'll be watching.
We're gonna go to the White River, right where it connects to the Mississippi River. We're gonna stretch about 20, 25 poles out over there, and we're gonna bait with some big giant bait and see what happens. But I think we can pull a big one in.
Do you have any other social media besides TikTok? You run a Facebook page, Instagram, anything like that?
We do have Facebook, the Opelousas Bank Poles page on Facebook, and then I have my personal Facebook. But this was my personal TikTok, and I just started uploading these videos on it, and it took off. And then I think it's like 38,000 people following that page now.
It is. I'm
And
very envious.
but I don't know why. Like I said, we ain't done nothing special, in my eyes. But we do have a Facebook page. It's under or no, I'm sorry, that's the website. The Facebook page is Opelousas Bank Pole. Just look it up, and you'll see the logo of the catfish it's the same logo that's on my TikTok. You'll see it on Facebook, and my son runs it, and he uploads videos like customers that send us pictures and stuff. He posts on there, their picture, their fish, and we had a kid. Kids love it. Well, we got a good friend of ours that lives right across the highway from us over here. He helps us sometimes. We're in a pinch. Somebody puts in a big order. He comes and helps us put poles together. And they was fishing this weekend, and they caught it looked like a 15, 20-pound fish, maybe, but that kid grabbed that line, and I can't remember how old, he's 5 or 6 years old. Buddy, you want to talk about excited. He's screaming, Daddy, get the net, get the net, get the net, it's a big one, but just seeing the kids having fun like that, man, that just tickles me. I mean, it tickles me.
Yeah,
I love seeing kids get excited. And
I do too, man. I'm scared, Jeff.
We'll probably post that on our Facebook page. So
yeah, post that up. I'm gonna look at it. I'm scared that we are. I guess the statistics show that we are losing young people in the outdoors. License sales go down every year, and and I wonder if it's because of the time that it takes sometime to go out there and be successful. But with a setup like this, man, I remember when I was a little boy, my daddy, Friday night, we'd go run or set up trot line, right? And we'd get up early that next morning. We'd go run the trot line, come home, and then we'd take off to the baseball game at around lunch a little after. This is something you can do like that, real quick setup. You ain't going to spend 15 minutes baiting a trot line. You're going to paddle up to your pole, pull your fish in, bait it back up, and move on down the road. This is perfect for a dad that wants to get the kids out there, have a little fun, catch some big fish. And man, or anybody that wants to catch some big fish, this is your ideal setup right here. I'm excited for you, brother. I think you really got something here.
I pray that it goes. Like I said, I always do is just put it out there and see. But we may have to build a bigger building.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the Lord's gonna bless you because you got. I believe he's about like he did Peter in that boat. Just do what he's telling you to do, and I think you ready to do it, brother, because you got something.
Throw them out on this side of the boat. Throw one more time on this side of the boat.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. All right, dude. Well, look, I'm gonna get out your hair. I really appreciate you taking time to talk with me, man.
Yes, sir.
I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I figured it was about that time. I figured it's about that time for the fish to start doing good. So
I enjoyed it. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Letting us be on here, Joe.
Anytime, baby. We'll get you on here again after he catches that big alligator gar down South Louisiana.
There you go. All right, buddy. We'll see you.
All right, cuz. All right.
All right.